And House Republicans are planning to investigate the Biden family's shady business deals and the influence peddling. Already facing scrutiny from the media, finally, the Los Angeles Times out with a new op-ed called "Enjoyed the Benghazi Hearings? You're Gonna Love the GOP Era of Angertainment." Angertainment is how the LA Times writes it. This says Elon Musk teases releasing the Twitter files on free speech suppression, saying, quote, "The public deserves to know what really happened." He's referring to how Twitter censored the Hunter Biden story. Joining me right now is the soon-to-be chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Kentucky Congressman James Comer. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. As you gear up for the 118th Congress and you being the chairman of the Oversight Committee, tell us where you're focused in terms of the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden influence peddling story.
Well, that's a great question, Maria. We're focused squarely on the bank records. We have correspondence from Hunter Biden himself, as well as interviews from at least two whistleblowers that point directly to specific things Hunter Biden was paying for Joe Biden. I don't think we're going to ever find direct payments from China or Russia to Joe Biden. It appears that the millions of dollars went through several of Hunter Biden's various LLCs, and then in turn, Joe Biden was receiving benefits through Hunter Biden paying for basic living expenses, repairs to his homes, and things like that. This obviously is something that the president has lied about. He lied about his knowledge of Hunter's shady business dealings. He lied about his involvement in Hunter's shady business dealings, and we believe he's lied about receiving benefits from all the influence peddling from his family over the past decade.
I know that at one point Chinese officials sent Hunter Biden an enormous diamond. Is that a way of hiding money? And what specifically were these Chinese officials and officials from Ukraine and officials from Russia? What specifically were they paying Hunter Biden for? Putting his role on the Burisma board aside, what were they paying him for?
You know, you look at what Hunter Biden's businesses really are. I mean, he doesn't manufacture anything. He doesn't own any equipment. He doesn't have any employees. He's not licensed to sell anything. It appears to me his businesses were influence peddling. The only reason that you can make that these foreign countries were paying Hunter Biden millions of dollars would be for access to the federal government at the highest levels through his father. So this is something that clearly should not be legal. This is something that the president has not been truthful with the American people over, and we're going to make this one of our investigative priorities in the new Congress. And it's very sad to see the media all over the United States write so many op-eds trashing the fact that the Republicans simply want to have a focus of an investigation to determine whether or not this president of the United States is compromised by our adversaries.
Yeah, it's true. It's really rich, isn't it, to see the media talk about your investigations as some kind of a political move after 4 years, literally 4 years of attacking Donald Trump and conservatives and Republicans because they just did not agree with where the media had its priorities and its politics. I mean, literally 4 years of a Russia collusion lie going viral in the media and, bullying conservatives out of restaurants. And now, because you are investigating what could be real crimes, criminal activity, you're supposed to be the political guy.
Right. And so many op-eds. I just read one in The Hill this morning and say they're concerned that Republicans are getting off to a bad start. I'm sure the media is concerned about whether or not the Republicans get off to a good start or not. The fact of the matter is this: the media has covered for the Biden family influence peddling for a decade. They've tried to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story. They've tried to discount the evidence that we've already proven to the American people in a press conference a couple of weeks ago. And now they're continuing to criticize the fact that we dare investigate this. And, it's really disappointing that they've also mischaracterized the fact that this is the only Republican agenda thus far. We have promoted the commitment to America. We've talked about reducing inflation, reducing crime, trying to secure our southern border, to eliminate the fentanyl that's pouring across the border, but yet the media tries to spin this as to the Republicans' only focus in the new Congress is going to be investigating President Biden. It is going to be a focus along with a very conservative legislative agenda.
Well, it is very disappointing, particularly given that there are such enormous threats that this country faces, in particular communist China, who wants to overtake the United States as the #1 superpower, and you don't have the kind of scrutiny there. You don't have scrutiny on TikTok. I mean, you don't have scrutiny over, some of the real threats to America. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy yesterday suggested that the White House monitoring Twitter and Elon Musk could be violating the First Amendment. Here's Kevin McCarthy yesterday. I'm going to get your reaction to this. Watch.
All right.
Yes, sir. The White House say that they're keeping an eye on Twitter under Elon Musk's ownership and leadership.
That is offensive to me. Government's going to go after someone that wants to have free speech? What do they have to look at Twitter about? I think they should stop picking on Elon Musk.
I mean, you would think that the media wants free speech, but they're losing their Democrat PR squawk box, I guess. They're losing that with Elon Musk because he's trying to make it balanced, Congressman. Are you going to be investigating that? I mean, look at Apple implementing this 10-minute time limit for Chinese users of AirDrop. A recent software update from Apple is restricting AirDrop file sharing in China. When the Hong Kong protesters were on the ground, they used social media to get more protesters to join their protest. Now they're not able to do that because of Apple, because CEO Tim Cook made the decision to update the iOS features, and it no longer allows AirDrop to work all the time. It has a 10-minute limit. So CEO Tim Cook is going to be meeting with GOP lawmakers on Capitol Hill today. Will the Oversight Committee meet with Tim Cook? Are you investigating this?
We don't have a meeting down with Tim Cook, but with respect to Twitter, long before Elon Musk came to Twitter, we sent letters telling the Twitter executives to preserve documents, preserve all correspondence. We believe that the Democrat National Committee, as well as the FBI, was communicating with Twitter just like they were with Facebook, according to Mark Zuckerberg, in trying to get them to suppress certain stories that would help the Democrats and hurt the Republicans. This is wrong. The government has no business in censoring free speech, as you already mentioned. So we're optimistic that Elon Musk is going to turn those documents over. We're in communication with his team right now. So I think this is something the White House is very scared of, to find that one of the social media companies has now changed ownership, and they're willing to spill the beans on this administration and their efforts to suppress free speech.
So you're going to know, based on what you learned from those documents out of Twitter, how the White House called Twitter and others to say, censor the Hunter Biden story. Don't let anybody know about Hunter Biden influence peddling, making money on Joe Biden's name.
Well, somebody called Twitter. According to Zuckerberg at Facebook, it was the FBI, but we're pretty certain somebody affiliated with this government in Washington, D.C. Was calling Twitter, telling them to suppress conservative speech, and that's a concern. That should be a concern even to the liberal media. So we're not going to let up on this, and we're hopeful that Elon Musk will cooperate with us fully in this investigation.
Congressman, we're going to be following your important work. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Thank you, Maria.
Congressman James Comer in D.C. this morning. Stay with us. We've got economic data coming out right after the break.